Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I apologize, it's been a while. Hope you guys have been doing well. Hope you guys got to enjoy a great Thanksgiving first off. And second off, the college football season has been flying by. Every sports season has been flying by so far this fall. Um, it is already time for college football conference championship weekend. I have also not done a lot. I haven't done anything on college basketball stuff. Expect that to start up here within a week or two. I would say I will get right onto that. It's been a lot's been happening with it, a lot of upsets, but um, so I'm gonna give you guys my conference championship picks from basically most of the main conferences and whatnot. There's a few games I'm gonna go through and such, and I can see quite a few of these guys being on the higher scoring end and whatnot. I'll break it down as to why and whatnot. So here we go. Without further ado, let's start with tomorrow, Friday, December 2nd, with the Conference USA game. Kickoff 7:30 in San Antonio. UTSA taking on North Texas. Now, I remember from last year, even UTSA had a high-powered offense, and they still carry that kind of offense too. This is a team that can really throw the ball well. They do not have a great defense. They do give up over 400 yards total per game, but UTSA does make up for that by playing such high-powered offense. They have knocked off North Texas 31-27 from a few weeks ago, back on the 22nd. UTSA is -7 at home. North Texas, on the other hand, they had a couple of UAB blew them out. UTSA beat UAB and whatnot. But North Texas also has a high-powered offense, but their defense is a little bit worse than UTSA's. They cannot stop the run at all. I actually have UTSA winning here, beating them again, but I have a tight game just like the last time, 35-31. It can go either way, but I like UTSA. I think they're the more complete team here in this matchup. Should be a fun one coming up on Friday night. Speaking of fun games, how about this one? The Pac-12 championship between number 4 USC and number 11 Utah. Utah is the defending Pac-12 champion. They beat Oregon last year for the title. USC is -3 in Las Vegas. And by the way, I apologize if I sound a little like crap. I do have a cold a little bit, so if I cough or anything like that, I apologize for all that. But USC's only loss this year has came against Utah. Utah has beat them once, 43-42 back in mid-October. I remember watching that game. USC has no defense, but they do carry, I would say, front Heisman Trophy runner Caleb Williams, who is a very prolific quarterback. He is such a good player. Like, he can run even when you need him to, or when he needs to get out of the pocket. Utah bolsters a significant defense. They still have a great defense. They only allow opponents 20 points per game. But I felt like lately, though, or this year, I should say, at times their defense has been a little bit suspect. USC was able to move the ball on them quite a bit. USC is always in these high-scoring games. They average 42.5 per game. They get a lot of their they get a lot of yardage per game as well. I'm going to take USC to get revenge on Utah. I want to see Utah win, but personally, I can't go in that direction, especially with USC's playoff hopes on the line here. USC loses this game, and they're out of the playoff contention. They are. They cannot lose this game. I think that, in with Caleb Williams, is going to be the difference maker in this game. Lincoln Riley really leading this team towards a lot of success this year. Of course, he came from OU last year, and this is going to be a must-watch game. Don't miss this one. Speaking of must-watch, here we go. The Big 12 title game on Saturday at noon. Number 3 TCU versus number 10 Kansas State. These two already played once. I'll discuss that in a moment. Kickoff at noon in Arlington, Texas. TCU is only a favorite 2.5 in this game, and rightfully so. TCU, they've been quite the story this year. Max Duggan really leading the charge with this high octane offense. Max Duggan can do it all. He can run the ball as well. Dual threat quarterback. The problem is TCU has absolutely no defense. They give up almost 25 points a game. They damn near give up almost 400 yards a game as well. Kansas State though doesn't have a good defense either. They're in the same boat just about. They do limit the pass a little bit, but they don't limit the ground game very well. TCU has had a few close calls this year, including an absolutely ridiculous last-minute field goal attempt against Baylor. That almost gave me a stroke. I'm not gonna lie. That I was watching that in real time, and I was literally like, I'm just like, what is going on? What is happening? Because you mess up once, and that pretty much would be the end of the game. So TCU's had a few close calls this year. Kansas State this year has also played very well. Martinez went down with an injury earlier this year. He was playing very well, but to that point, Kansas State could run the ball too. Kansas State and TCU played earlier this year, and Kansas State was up by a considerable amount at the half, but TCU ended up running it back up on them after their first two starting quarterbacks got hurt. I've liked TCU all year, but I got them losing. I'm sorry. I want to see them win, but their luck is going to run out on Saturday. I think some people are forgetting to realize just how lucky TCU is to be 12-0, and I understand this is a tough conference. They have played in a very tough conference all year. TCU has had to make several comebacks this year. It's going to eventually catch back up to you. It can. I'm not saying TCU can't win. I want to see them win. I've been liking this TCU team this year. They're a very good team to root for. An easily rootable team. But I think K-State is festered on that lone lead they had against TCU. I think Kansas State's coming for revenge in this game. Exciting one. I hope I get to watch this. I might miss the first part of it. We'll see. Heading to the MAC championship in Detroit, Michigan, we have Ohio versus Toledo. I feel like the MAC's been a weird year this year, you know. My school completely choked at the end. I was surprised by that. But some things happen sometimes. I don't know how to explain it. Ohio, though, has been the best team in the MAC. They have the best quarterback, Curtis Rourke, but is he going to play? He was injured against Ball State, speaking of them, and C.J. Harris has taken over pretty well. They also have a pretty good run game as well. Toledo, on the other hand, Toledo lately has been kind of falling off the face in the earth. I don't know what the hell's going on with Toledo, but they've dropped pretty bad games. They've dropped some bad losses to Bowling Green and Western Michigan. I don't know what's going on there. They've won 2 of their last 5. I mean, what is going on? I don't understand this. Ohio has beaten their last 4 games. Ohio has won by at least 14 or more points. Toledo's the favorite, though, because of the injury. I'm not trusting Toledo, though. I'm going Ohio to win a close game. I think Toledo does keep it close, but at the end of the day, Toledo's pass defense is going to have to be the difference here because they limit under 200 passing yards a game, and they're going to need to get that ground game going too because Ohio, they can kind of give away the run a little bit, and Ohio has a horrible pass defense, so they need to throw that ball too. Should be a tight one in Detroit. All right, going to the Sun Belt Conference Championship. This game got way less interesting. Of course, this game is way less interesting than what we would like it to be. But hey, I mean, gotta give credit to a team like Troy, who's 10-2. Troy's favored 8.5. You have Troy versus Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina, Grayson McCall. I don't know when it was, but he had season-ending surgery, and that was really tough to see because I was liking what I was seeing from Coastal Carolina the last couple of years with this team. They were playing some really damn good football. Troy has a very good defense. Their defense is so damn good. They only allow 117 rushing yards a game. That's low for college standards, and that's good and low in a good way. They only allow 17 points per game. Coastal Carolina's offense was really engineered well by Grayson McCall, but now, of course, with them out, they have not looked good since then. They actually got they got ran over by James Madison, 47-7. Troy, on the other hand, has been blowing teams out almost left and right, not quite. Troy favored 8.5. I got Troy winning by 21. I can't see Coastal Carolina scoring much in this game against this stout defense. If they could not score more than 7 against James Madison, how are they going to score against Troy? So, I don't know. Okay, this game got way less interesting too. Oh, jeez. The SEC Championship, which is going to take place in Atlanta, Georgia. Number 1, Georgia versus number 14, LSU. Georgia is a 17.5-point favorite as we speak. Georgia's been the number 1 team for much of this year, with the exception of like week 1 or something like that, week 2. And Georgia, again, the same thing with this year. They have a fantastic defense. Nothing else is new with that. They have a great defense, but I feel like at times Stetson Bennett's been a little bit suspect, but the run game's good as well. But I think Georgia's more beatable than some people think. They've shown it this year at times. LSU just turned into a dumpster fire. I was starting to like them more when they beat Alabama, but damn, they lost to A&M. I mean, come on. What is that all about? Yeah, let's lose to Texas A&M. Wee-hoo. Yay-hoo. I got a blowout happening here. There's no chance in hell LSU does anything against Georgia. This third team might come in garbage time. The offense is really led through Jalen, whatever the hell his name is, Daniels, and I just don't see LSU doing much in this game. I really don't. Jaden Daniels, yeah, I don't see a whole lot happening. LSU is going to have a hard time even doing anything against Georgia. But later down the line, Georgia could be in trouble against one of the other top 4 teams. Who knows? We'll see. But this game's going to be boring. Don't watch it. All right, moving on. I need to speed things up. We got 18 Tulane versus 22 UCF. It's a rematch from a few weeks ago. This all depends on if John Rice Plumlee plays, and I think he may not play in this game. If he does not play, I got Tulane winning this game by 3. Tulane is having a huge turnaround season. This is a great story from this school. They were like 2-10 last year, and they're 10-2 now. They're really trying to. The winner of this game makes a New Year's Six Bowl, from what I've heard. So huge game here. Pratt playing well at quarterback. This Tulane team is really playing some good defense and limit the pass a bit, but UCF was able to run all over them. They do not stop the run well at all, but if Plumlee doesn't play, Tulane absolutely will win this game. If Plumlee plays, then my prediction might go down the drain, but we'll see. I'm banking on him not playing. They get their big-time rushing attack, especially for him as well, because he's a dual-threat quarterback. He can pass and run the ball very well. So, very interesting game. But UCF did beat Tulane 38-31 just a couple of weeks ago. So, we'll see. Should be a very interesting AAC championship. Mountain West title game, Boise State versus Fresno State. 2 teams last year that did not. This is 2 completely different teams in the Mountain West championship. Boise State favored 3. Boise State blew out Fresno State earlier this season, 40-20. Fresno State has their quarterback back, has their main quarterback, of course, back in the huddle as well. Hayner, and Fresno State has been on a tear since. Fresno State can play some defense. Boise State's defense, though, is better, but I'm going to take Fresno State in an upset. Why not? I don't know much about either team. I'm just going to wing it a little bit. Why not? Should be a tight game. Tighter game than the last one, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say, though, unfortunately. I wish I did, so I decided I got to speed this up just a little bit. Big Ten Championship, number 2, Michigan versus Purdue. Michigan, of course, we saw what J.J. McCarthy did without Blake Corum. They did well against Ohio State. Purdue's one of those teams, though, they could make some funny business happen. Like, they could do some things that you don't expect them to. Michigan's defense, though, is still very good. Purdue's a little bit of a strange team at times. I think Purdue could cover the spread, but I think Michigan still wins by a lot. I mean, I don't think it changes at all. Michigan, with the passing game, we saw that they could effectively pass the ball down the field. Purdue can pass well, too. I just think Purdue, I don't know, it's just so hard to get around that Michigan defense, especially. Purdue's defense, it's okay. It's good to an extent, but Michigan's significantly better still. The ACC Championship, this game got way less interesting when North Carolina decided to drop their last 2 games straight. That was ridiculous. And then Clemson lost to South Carolina last week. That was insane. North Carolina with Drake May, they are a tremendous passing team, but they have absolutely no defense whatsoever. Clemson can play some offense. They do have a decent defense at the very least. This is not the same Clemson team, though. It's not a vintage Clemson team, but I got Clemson winning by a decent margin. I meant to change UNC score to 28. I think they'll get closer to 30, but we'll see. It depends on how if UNC doesn't like turn over the ball or anything like that. But I think Clemson's winning the ACC, and that's my predictions, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be doing bowl game predictions once again this year. That'll be coming, of course, in a couple of weeks. But until then, see you guys next time.